Warning: the following podcast, which contains strong language and mature content, is unsuitable for children or for the faint of heart. The subject matter discussed will be frightening and graphic in nature. Listener discretion is advised.
Three spooked girls. Three spooked girls. When you wanna hear about the paranormal, you get the spooked girls. True crime that makes you hypothermal. With the three spooked girls. Stabby snippets will give you dreams. Tara and Jessica will make you scream along with the spooked girls. Bring on the slaughter. We on that haunted ground. Spooked girls. The three spooked girls.
Hey Spooksters, and welcome back to another episode here on Three Spooked Girls. My name is Tara, and this week, as you can tell by the title, we're going to do another vault drop. If you are new here and you haven't tuned into one of our vault drops before, this is a sneak peek into our Patreon backlog that we have. And in this episode, we are recapping the Lifetime movie Sister Wife Murder. It is such a ride and was such a fun episode, so let's go ahead and dive on in.
Today, we are going to be talking about a Lifetime movie that was like stalking me the entire time I was watching the Gypsy Rose Life After Lockdown. And I was like, Tara, we should watch this movie. And she's like, okay, bet, let's do it. And then we watched it basically at the same time today and
yeah, that was fun.
Got traumatized together.
I almost was like, we're not doing this. Like for a minute, I was serious.
I was like, this is a little much. The really great thing is I didn't have to take any notes because I'm going to read back through Tara and I's text messages for like context because we literally just chatted about the movie the whole time.
Dude, it was a whole fucking thing. Oh my God. All right.
It was a lot. The movie we are reviewing, as you can see, is called Sister Wives Murder. I, first and foremost, thought this was going in a completely different direction.
Oh, same.
And then was like, oh, so I'm gonna put a trigger warning right here. It's got domestic violence in it, domestic abuse.
Yeah.
Both physical and mental and emotional. It has like alienation things. So like if any of these are like triggering for you, don't watch the movie, I would say. And then also it's very religious, which both Tara and I were like, really surprised because like when you watch Sister Wives, the TV show, I mean like religion comes up, but it's like as in like context clues.
Well, yeah, and after a few seasons, like it totally stopped. So
right, because it's really, I was like, I don't really think they're religious anymore. I think they're just here.
Yeah, it was very religious heavy for the first like 15 minutes or so.
Right. Because it's going to start with a girl named Chloe, who is played by Dia Nash, who is Niecy Nash's daughter. And once I realized that, because I was like looking at her and I was like, this girl is beautiful. And I'm like, and I remember looking at her and be like, her lips remind me of somebody, but I couldn't like place it. And then Tara was like, oh my God, she's Niecy Nash's daughter. And I was like, oh my God. And then I couldn't stop hearing that Zayday Williams, because like my favorite is from Scream Queens. But yeah, so it starts out, Chloe goes out to a party, which she's just in a bathroom.
Yeah.
Apparently, the party was so great. She was in the bathroom, just staring at herself in the mirror. I didn't quite understand this like whole.
She was like drunk, and then I think she had some party favors with her.
That's true. And then she goes home and then she's like sleeping in the next day. Her mom is like, don't you have to go to work? And she's like, I don't work there anymore. And she's like, what the fuck? Like her mom is like, what the hell? The hell, Chloe?
Yeah.
She's like, fine, you're going to church with me.
Oh, Chloe.
Tara and I are going to tell you right now, like, if we're putting a blame on anybody, it's the mama. She literally was like,
yep.
Here, let me call you lazy and just basically a piece of shit.
Threatened to kick her out.
Yeah. Basically, you're the worst child ever. You have to go to church. So she makes Chloe get up and go to church. And it's very like, here's the thing. They don't give it a denomination, but I was like, ooh, this kind of feels very like church I grew up in. So it's like they have like a worship service and they're all this blah, blah, blah. And then Chloe is listening listening to the person preaching that day, who I guess is like, I don't really understand the dynamic because he's like the youth pastor, but he's also like preaches regularly. And I'm like, this is not right.
Who knows? Who knows?
Tara and I were talking. I'm like, no, I think he's like the everything pastor. And she's like, oh, that makes sense. But like, spoiler, later in the movie, there's like another pastor who's like over him. And I'm like, okay, I'm so confused.
Maybe he was guest sermoning. I don't know.
Was on like vacation for a bit.
Yeah, he's like, God damn it. I just wanted to go on a cruise and you fucked it up.
You fucked it up. This dude's name is Caleb. So Caleb is like, he's that quote unquote handsome pastor, which really funny because like when I Googled this movie, because it's supposed to have like true inspiration to it, and neither Tara and I could find true inspiration.
Could find nothing. If you do, let us know.
Yeah, if you know, hook a girl up. But they were like, making like the father joke, like, because apparently people on the internet find the dude really attractive.
Oh God.
And so they were like, he might not be like father material, as in like, you know, priest father, but he can be a daddy material. I was like,
no.
I was like, okay, first and foremost, back that up. Let's not, no. But anyway, so she meets Caleb. Basically, she's in church. She's like in the overflow section in the back. The church was not full. People could have sat their asses down. They just didn't.
No, but they're acting like she's standing like she's at a like packed concert and she's trying to look over this dude's shoulder.
And I was like, there's so many chairs. Like you could have sat by your mom and watched. So, but then Caleb like comes up and approaches her. And basically, she's like, yeah, my mom brought me, like this whole, like, I come to church when my mom makes me. She wants me to get a job. And he's like, oh. And she's like, you know, I had some drug problems because my dad died 2 years ago, and which math doesn't math because she's 21 and he died when she was 18. I was like, we don't know how to add. That's our first problem. Because she's like, he died 2 days after my high school graduation. I was like, always the 2 days after my high school graduation.
Or before. Sometimes it is.
Just before. It's true. Very Lifetime, because this is definitely a Lifetime movie. So if you want to watch it, you can watch it on the Lifetime app, on Lifetime if you have the channel, and, you know, Hulu.
Oh, yeah, Hulu.
As well.
Yes.
Which is where I watched it. So then he's like, oh, well, I have this, like, I think it's like a crisis center for people who need to, like, you know, who are on drugs and, like, need resources or groups and stuff like that. And it's called Sacred Hands. He's like, oh, you can come work there. So she does. She goes and she's working at Sacred Hands, and she meets a girl named Margot who is very, very pregnant, which I loved. I was like super fan of the joke. She doesn't look like Margot looks pregnant. Like Margot doesn't look like maybe she's just like questionably overweight. Like she's very pregnant. It's very pronounced. And she's like, expecting what? And you just see Chloe like, shit. And she's like, just kidding. And they're like all these like friends, right? Like, so then Chloe's worked there about a month at this point and she's killing it. Her mom gave her a bracelet to like be like, so proud of you. You're turning your life around. It had a saying on it. I don't remember what it said. Something like a Bible verse from like Joshua or something like that. So she gives her the bracelet and, you know, she's killing it at work. So good for Chloe. She's turning her life around. She's contributing to the household. Things are on the up and up. Well, one day Caleb shows up. He hasn't been there for a while. And so now he's there and he's like, oh my God, I'm here. I heard we have a rock star. Who is it? And she's like flirting with him. Like, she's like, if I told you, then you wouldn't know. Or so. I was just like, what the fuck is happening? So then in true Lifetime unrealism,
we're not going to waste any time.
They get right down to it. He's like, meet me in my office later. So she stops by later and they're having like a normal conversation. And he just like fucking blatantly hits on her.
Yeah.
About her body or something like that. I don't even remember what they said, but he's like, I think your body looks good.
Yeah.
And he's like rubbing her arm in the most like creepy way. Like if a dude was like, I want your attention, it was like rubbing their pinky on my forearm the way he did, I'd have been like, don't fucking touch me. Like I get that you're trying to be sassy, but like
creepo.
Don't do it. And then she like looks at him and they're like turn to each other and then they just start making out really hard. Mind you, I've neglected a whole other thing. She knows he's married.
Yeah, she knows he's married at this point.
To a woman named Anna, who, fun fact, is the girl who plays Victoria on How I Met Your Mother. And I was like, ooh, Tara's like, this girl looks familiar. And I was like, just this person. I don't know her actual name, but we referred to her in every text message as Victoria, not as Anna. Victoria.
Yes, exactly.
So then, like, now Chloe and Caleb are just like making out in his office. And then he takes they're just kissed, like, mwah, mwah, like maybe 30 seconds of makeout. Then he takes his shirt off.
Then they're fucking. It was so fast.
It happened so fast. Tara was like, oh my God, they fucking in his office. And I was like, they fucking in his office.
Yeah, I didn't know it was going to happen that fast because I was like looking away and working on my computer, and I look up and they're fucking naked. I'm like, what the fuck just happened? I was like, damn, did I really miss like 5-10 minutes of shit? And I rewound it and I'm like,
no, you missed 20 seconds.
I literally missed like 20 seconds. I was like, what the fuck is happening?
So they carry on like this for like a month, right? And Chloe's like kind of watching him from afar one day at church and is like, he's so dreamy. I'm the mistress to the youth pastor, whoever pastor, to the whatever pastor. And so he's like talking to another like new person, and she gets kind of jealous.
Yeah.
She's like, I know I can't be jealous, blah, blah, blah. He's like, yeah, blah, blah, blah. God has told me that I need to like share my affections.
Multiply my love.
Ugh, so gross.
It's God's will for me to do that. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah.
You know what? Here's the thing.
No, it is not.
It is not. Here's the thing. I don't care if people are poly. That's fine.
Right.
Go be poly.
Yeah.
But don't tell me it's God. God has nothing to do with this.
And the only person getting to fulfill all their needs is the man.
As one man, it's polygamy, not poly, for sure.
That's what I'm saying. Yes.
Yeah.
Like, that's why polygamy obviously is bad, because it's like they just get his fucking mid-ass. Like, they don't get anything exciting out of it. It's always a basic ass white dude who's balding.
It's always Cody Brown.
It's always Cody Brown. It's Cody Brown. White dudes that are cool who are listening. We are not including you in this. Just the bad ones.
So they have this conversation and he's like, my wife knows. And she's like, your wife knows? He's like, I have no secrets from her. And she's like, oh, okay. And then it's like they have some interactions with like her and the wife and everything's fine. Well, I mean, like at the beginning.
At the beginning, she's fine. Yes.
Anna is totally like, I'm here for this.
Yeah.
So the friends that she was like partying with at the beginning of the movie, I'm pretty sure they're engaged, but I thought he was gay, which I was very confused with because that's the vibe I had gotten from him.
Or maybe it was just the girl.
And she was getting married. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought they were a couple. I don't remember.
I thought they were a couple, but I could be second guessing. Anyway, so her best friend's getting married.
Right. So this is crucial because they're like dress shopping when she like tells her friends about this hot pastor that she's like into, but he's married and blah, blah, blah. Well, they're having like a lot of people do, they're having an engagement party. Well, wouldn't you know that this engagement party is the same fucking weekend as the Sacred Hand's first annual retreat?
Damn it.
And Caleb is like, what do you mean? Like, he's like, hey, here's the stuff for the retreat. You need to get this stuff ready. And she's like, well, it's this weekend. I won't be able to go because it's my best friend's engagement party. Now, here's where she fucked up. She should have called her best friend and been like, hey, I have a work event I cannot get out of. My boss will not let me out of it. That's an excuse to not go to somebody's engagement party. No, she just ghosts.
She just disappears.
Yeah, she just doesn't like, they're calling her and texting her like the whole weekend. She's just like not paying. She's like, ignore. So she goes on the retreat. Margot has had her baby. Her name is Maisie. And they're like, she's like, oh, look at the baby. And like when she gets to the retreat, Caleb and Margot are like standing near each other. And like Caleb is like playing kind of like, but in my mind, like if you hadn't foreshadowed or seen the advertisement for this, you've been like, it's just it's like the pastor giving attention, being like, oh, because babies always get attention because babies are cute.
Yes, but no.
No. So then they're like at the retreat and he like forces her in like a group session to like admit shit. And she was real upset about it. She didn't eat dinner. This whole thing. She had like at one point they were like at this picnic area and she's like, I have actual feelings for you. And he's like, I have actual feelings for you. Because she's like, it's not just about the sex. He's like, okay. Well, then she's like hungry later that night, which by the way, she draws in her therapy, like way of handling things is to draw, which comes in at no point at any time later whatsoever, other than it's just something she does. And I was like waiting for that to be in clutch. Like she like drew the abuse and left it behind somewhere or something. I don't know. I was waiting for it.
Right. Nope. Didn't come up.
So she goes to get food out of the refrigerator in the kitchen and she hears like moaning. And she's like, oh, which come on, we'd all be curious. Like if you're at a
for sure
thing. And then she sees Caleb and Margot going at it.
OMG.
She's like, oh, so the next day he's like, hey, Chloe. And she's like, no, thank you.
Get away from me.
And he's like, what? And she's like, I saw you with Margot. And he's like, and then Anna somehow surfaces in this moment. And they're like, yeah, they're both my wives, Anna and Margot. And then Margot comes in and Margot is just a fucking ray of sunshine. Like she is like, hi, I'm Margot. I love everyone and everything is great.
Yes.
And Anna's a lot more like, hello, how are you? Like, it actually makes a lot of sense. Like, it's like she's kind of like older, like the senior pastor's wife vibes, and Margot gives youth pastor's wife vibes for sure.
Yeah.
and then Margot and them are like, oh, we're so excited like to talk to you. And Chloe's like, I just need to think. And she like leaves and runs away and is thinking. And then she's having a hard time. So she's praying and all this stuff. And then like she's in the church and basically it's been like a bit. He just kind of proposes to her.
Like out of nowhere. It just felt so like abrupt. It was just like, oh, time to propose now. So weird.
Oh, that's how this movie is. It's like so disjointed. You're just like, okay, she gonna tell him off? Nope. And then she's like, yes, I'll marry you.
I was like, bitch, run away. What are you doing?
I know, that was literally Tara's text. She was like, run. So then she goes over for dinner with Margot and Anna and Caleb, and he asks her officially if she wants to join their family. And Margot is like, oh my God, sister wives. And Anna's like, yeah.
All right, fine. Like, hey, you're here now. Okay.
Okay, cool. Someone else to be around. She goes. I just love it because Margot's like super happy. Anna's like, whatever. They're joining. And they have a wedding service.
Oh my God. This was so fucking weird. First of all, there's like nobody else there and they're in the backyard. Mm-hmm. And then they do the hand circle. They all four holding hands and the posing montage. You know what that reminded me of? That reminded me of like 2000s movies when they would do their dressing room scenes in movies.
Yes. But
those are the vibes I got.
Married them.
Yeah. Bitch, what the fuck?
She does the whole service.
Like the whole like, oh, remember to take your ring off and all this other shit. And it's like, bruh.
Yeah, because they're not out and proud about this. They're just living their lives secret. So now Chloe's like, okay, I married the dude. I kind of have to live there at his house because that's what married couples do. She just tells her mom that she's working at Sacred Hands, but Caleb and Anna have hired her to like come and like work in their house. So she's just gonna live there because it'd be easier. And her mom is like, I don't get it. That's dumb. And she's like, her mom just like looks at her and goes, are you just trying to like get away from me? And she goes, no, I just need some space. And I was like, no, but she really wants to get away from you. Like you called her lazy and a druggie at the beginning of this movie and she wants the fuck away.
Yeah, she's willing to have sister wives to get away from you.
Apparently, like we've talked about with many cult leaders, the D was good because she was willing to share it. Can we talk about the fucking first night? So she moves into the house.
Ew.
She moves into this house.
So gross.
It's so fucking weird, you guys. Margot like takes her into
her room.
Or is it Margot or Anna? I can't remember which one.
No, it's Margot because she's all excited. Because she decorated for her.
Oh, that's right. And so she goes in and she's like, so there's like when Caleb comes home, you have to be wearing like these long dresses.
Mm-hmm. Like super, super modest clothing.
Mm-hmm. Like you can wear other clothes when he's not home.
But when he's around.
Yeah, but when he's around, you have to wear this. And it's like all about modesty, which I think is for another reason, but we'll talk about that in a minute. They get married, and I don't know if this is like same day or whatever happens, but basically he goes to work and he comes home. She puts on this dress and she like runs outside to meet him. And she's like all happy. And then he's like, hey, gives her a hug and a kiss. And he's like, you know, I have other wives, so I can't show favoritism.
Because Anne is watching in the window. So pissed.
Also, Anne could have just said, hey, we don't like run outside to see him. Like, I could have seen them like say like the lifestyle.
Yeah, like a neighbor could see or something. Yeah, I get it.
Yes, a person could be driving by from the church and we just don't really want like it out. So like we'll wait for him to come home. So then she's like, okay. She's like at dinner, they have dinner and then it's done and then it's like nighttime. It's like bedtime.
Yeah, it is.
And she goes into her room and she's in her fucking long ass dress. I don't even know how to really. So they start, he's like, he's like, take your dress off. And she's like, okay. He's like, lay on the bed. And she's like, okay. And so they make out for like 4 seconds. He pulls away. She goes in for a kiss and he pulls away more. And she's like, what? Then he like diddles her for like 2 seconds and then stops and then leaves the room. He's like, good night and leaves. And she's like, the fuck just
fucking asshole.
happened? And I was like, okay. And then she like follows him to the door and like peeks out and like Anna is carrying Maisie from Margot's room into her room and then Caleb comes in and she's like, hi Caleb, and he's like, take off your dress.
Says
and
the
she's
same
like,
thing.
of course. And I was like, oh, you're too eager, Beaver, like you need to stop. That just kind of like, that's how their life is, you know. I don't really know his fuck schedule, but I'm sure he got back to her eventually. They have a chore chart.
Yes, they do. And I was so scared it was going to say sex on there.
And they didn't, thank God. So they had like different chores they had to do, including people, like they all rotated taking care of Maisie one day, which I was like, that's kind of nice. Like every mom probably really wants their kid to like be like, I could take a day to myself and go. Mm-hmm. I get it. But they're also not allowed to go like do things for themselves.
No.
They're allowed to work and things like that. But then Chloe doesn't really get the hang of this too well because like she's trying to set the table and Anna is just real fucking mean about it. Margot's very helpful. At one point there's like this weird fight that happens.
Yeah.
And I don't remember exactly how it happened. I don't know.
It was because of the place settings, I think. Because she was like, how do you not have it by now? Blah, 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 like yelling at her. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So then Chloe's like, fuck this. I just need to be by myself and leaves because she's like also not, because she's also dressed in like not Caleb appropriate clothing. And she leaves. And then she comes back at like dinner time and she was like going to go upstairs and change to like, oh no, she goes and sits down at the table and Caleb is like, you're gonna fucking go to bed.
Oh, yeah. He sends her to bed with no dinner like a kid.
And then this is kind of the first time some abuse happens because he comes up to talk to her and she's kind of being a little spitfiery, which I was like, good for her. But then he kind of hurts her. He like grabs her arm and like smacks her and some stuff. And then she's like, oh shit, like this is kind of a big deal. The next day, she gets up the nerve to text her best friend and is like, oh my God, I think I'm in trouble. I need help. She tells Anna, I have to go out. I have to go. And she's like, where? She's like, you can't leave. And she goes, I have to leave. And she's like, why? And she's just like, I think I might be pregnant and my doctor is going to do a test. And Anna is like, babies, go. Because she can't have babies herself. So she's like, go to the baby doctor. So she leaves and goes and meets her friends for like coffee. And then like they literally are like, what the fuck are you wearing? Because she's wearing this like long sleeve shirt and stuff. And it was probably hot out. It kind of seemed like, because they were like in tank tops. And she like pulls up her sleeve and sees the whole like bruise. And she's like, I married the dude. So then Alex, who's the best friend, calls Chloe's mom and they talk about it. Then Chloe's mom fucking calls the pastor because also Chloe is like just ghosted her mom. Also is weird because it's like they go to the same church.
Right. I don't know. I mean, like she sat on the other side and ignored her mom pretty much. Because then remember, she had the run-in with him. She was saying like, oh, she's trying to cut me out. And he's like, well, I trust her judgment and I support her. So then I think that's when her mom was
right.
Like, oh, fuck. And just like, what is she going to do? If she causes too much drama, she'll get kicked out of the church.
Right. One thing that was like, it was like, she's like, you haven't called me back. It's been like 2 months. And I was like, that's a long time. Like, how y'all not gone to church together in 2 months? And like, obviously obviously because she sees her and she walks up to her and talks to her. Maybe her mom has a job where she can't go every Sunday. Maybe that was it. I don't know. But then, so Alex and her mom, I think her name is like Lydia, they go and they tell the pastor. So then it's like Sunday service and Caleb and Anna arrive together because they're legally married. And they're like walking up the steps and everyone's like staring at them like, oh my God, what's happening?
Yes. I was like, yes.
And they're like, oh my God. And then they get to the door and this pastor's like, Anna, I need to talk to your husband. So they come in and he's like, Caleb is unfucking bothered by this, like, by these accusations of polygamy. He's like, it's illegal. And he's like, by who? Like, who says? And I literally out loud, like, I'm not supposed to, because I'm watching this at work.
The law.
I have like the Olympics on so that like if people are like, what is she watching? But I was literally like out loud, I went, the United States of America? And my boss was like, what? I was like, nothing. Nothing.
They scored.
Woohoo! Watching water polo, which I do not understand. And he keeps trying to explain to me because he plays it. And I was like, I don't understand what's on their ears. And I just tune out when he tries to tell me. But anyway. So he's like talking to this pastor and he's like, it's not, he's like, God wants this. And he's like, no, he's not. And then he's like, what about the abuse, Caleb? And he's like, obviously someone's out to get me and they're spreading lies. And he's like, I don't know. I am kind of inclined to believe these people. And he's like, I don't know. You know, God has called me here. And he goes, well, I wish he would have just been like, the call is ended.
Oh my God.
God is hung up. This is what I would have said. God is hung up now. You're free to go. He basically was like, no.
You're fired.
Toodaloos.
Yeah.
You're fired. And Tara just texted me, fired.
I was so happy because it's like, it's lifetime. You never know. Sometimes that happens in real life, how much stuff gets put under the rug.
There was like a second when they were just talking about the polygamy shit that like the pastor was like, oh, okay, I get it. You believe this, da-da-da. And then he was like, but the violence. I was like, okay, we have morals.
Thank goodness.
So then he's like fired. And then they come home and they're like, he's looks at Anna. He's like, did you tell? And she's like, I didn't tell. And they look at Margot. Did you tell? And she's like, I didn't fucking tell. And they're like, Chloe, did you tell Pastor so-and-so? And she's like, I did not tell Pastor so-and-so. Because she didn't. She didn't have to lie. They didn't say, did you tell anyone? They said, did you tell this pastor?
Yeah.
And then basically Anna is like, it's fine, blah, blah, blah. And he slaps the shit out of her. And you can tell this is not a thing that has happened to Anna before. Like, or it has been a long ass time because she does not handle it well. Like everyone else just kind of handles it. And Anna's like falling apart. He broke something on her face, didn't he? Or broke something. Like he slapped her and then like maybe knocked over a lamp or whatever. Or through his glass.
Yeah, I think he broke like a lamp or a vase or something. Yeah.
He's very angry. And so he's like, I have to find a new job and take care of 4 people and blah, blah, blah. So then like later on, actually, I don't remember exactly when the timeline this happens, but like Margot goes in and talks to Chloe.
Yes.
And they're having this discussion because like I think Chloe had gotten hit again or some shit, or it was like worse this time. And Chloe throws Margot a birthday party.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
First and foremost. Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
And like she's so excited about it. And Anna's like, I don't fucking get this. And you can just tell like in this moment, like if Caleb hadn't been a terrible human being, like he actually got excited watching like Chloe be excited for Margot. And I was like, oh, that would have been nice if he wasn't a fucking creep.
Right. Oh my God. No, it's because he sends her to her room without food like a few times. And it's one of the times, I think it might have, I don't know if it was the first time or not, but there was a time because her and Margot, they have a shared wall in their closet.
Oh, yeah.
And with their closets. And there's like a hole that he knows is there, but hasn't fixed. So it's like a little mail slot type of situation. So she brought her food and stuff like that. So
it was really cute. Like their little hole in the wall thing. And then it's like when Caleb was like beating Margot the other way. Both ways. When she's beating Chloe, like Margot was like watching through the hole. And she was like, oh my God. But they're like in there and they're having this conversation. And Margot's like, if I could leave, I would, but I can't. I have nowhere to go. My mom disowned me when I like took up with Caleb and all this shit. And she's like, just take your kid and go. She's like, well, what? She's like, well, maybe your mom will like, now that you have Maisie, like, will be like, oh, I have a grandchild. Like, this is different. Like, I have a family. So Margot asks Caleb for permission to go see her mom. And she says no. And I think this is one of the times where Margot, like, because Chloe, like, takes up for her, this is another time that she gets, like, fucking beat again.
Yeah.
Well, Margot's just like, I gotta get the fuck out. I gotta get my baby out, because this is what she hears. Like, Caleb is in the backyard with Maisie and is like, soon you're gonna have your own sister wives and your own husband to take care of. And this, like, triggers her, like, I gotta get the fuck out with my kid. So in the dark of night, she packs up Maisie, who is not sleeping. Maisie is crying, which is like, I was like, girl, go faster. He can hear that shit.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Benadryl your baby next time.
You should have waited till she was sleeping.
Right. Or wait till he was gone himself.
Yeah, true. True. Anyway, okay, yeah. So she tries to go.
And then he catches her. Anna's in on this because, like, literally, he, like, goes to, like, drag her inside and she's like, but Maisie's in the car. And he's like, Anna will get her. Or Anna's got her. And I was like, where the fuck is Anna? Are you just standing in the shadows, you fucking lurker? Stop it.
Just fucking waiting.
She's like, my baby. Like, that's literally what she is. So then he takes Margot upstairs and he, like, I'm pretty sure beats her super duper bad. And, like, the next day they're, like, sitting down at breakfast and he comes in and he's like, look, Margot and I need to work on our marriage, so I'm going to take her away for a couple of days. And it's just going to be us. Then he and Margot leave. They have the baby. Like, Maisie stays with Chloe and Anna. And then Caleb comes back, but Anna is gone. But Margot is gone. Just gone. Tara was like, she's gone. I was like, she's gone.
Yeah.
Caleb is like... Oh my God. I'm just like, oh my God. So Caleb's like, she just like, I went into my office and then she was gone.
Disappeared.
She just fucking left. Chloe's like, okay. But she's like really weirded out. And Caleb is like, you know, she's like really bad into drugs before she came here. And so I understood why she would run away, but I don't think she would have left her baby.
Oh, no way in fuck. No, she definitely wouldn't have.
Right. Or if she was going to run away, she's going to be like, I'm going to run away. And then you guys bring me my baby.
Yeah. Or like, you know, she would have taken the baby to her mom's.
Right. Then Chloe's like asking questions like, where is Margot? Blah, blah, blah. You know, Caleb is like, look, I've looked for her. I've tried to find her. I can't. Then miraculously, after this conversation happens, she gets a text message from Margot. Everything is all okay.
Oh my God.
I'm just traveling and I need some time. So Chloe's like, oh my God, she's okay. And then she's just like, Chloe snaps into like stepmom mode. Like, I've got a baby to take care of. And so she is. And so she's like, oh, you know what we should do? We should FaceTime Margot, which, like, you didn't think to do that before when you were worried about her, but okay.
Right.
Back up, mums. I'm questioning all of your judgment.
Literally,
Chloe.
yeah. Too trusting.
Too trusting. She goes to, like, FaceTime Margot, and then she can hear the phone ringing in the house. And of course, she goes up to Caleb's bedroom and, like, opens, like, which they're not supposed to go in.
Right.
You can go into all the other rooms, but not. Because that was the other thing. Like, after Margot like, disappeared, Chloe went in her room and was like, look, she has all this shit. But also kind of wanted to be like, how is Margot's closet on that side of the room? But it's also on the same side of the room as
Plot holes.
closet. Plot hole. It's the same fucking room. I know it.
Yeah. I mean, or maybe on her side, it's just the wall. No, because it was definitely like the closet. She was in her closet too.
Yeah. Unless I just didn't see that maybe there's two closets in Margot's room.
Maybe.
She's like, look, there's all these clothes in here. And Anna's just like, I am a dumb wife. I don't know anything. Like, that's literally how she acts.
God. Yeah.
So then Chloe is like, so backtrack. Chloe's back in the room with the phone and the desk. And then like someone comes in and it's Anna. And she's like, what the fuck? And she's like, because fun fact, it's Anna sending the text messages, not Caleb.
Right.
We know this from like dramatic irony. We can see it in a previous shot. So she's like, what is that? Oh no, we need to go to the police. So she's like, but Caleb is home. So for lunch, so they act like nothing's wrong. And Chloe's like not in the Caleb approved clothing. And so she was like, oh, okay. Well, like Caleb is like, why aren't you in this clothes? She's like, oh, I'm really sorry. I'm running behind. I need to go put Maisie down and then I'll be down and I'll change. I was on my way. He's like, oh, okay. They have lunch. And then Anna's like, look, because Chloe's like, we need to go to the police. But she's like, he's here. We have to get out of this room. Put the phone back. So then Caleb leaves. Anna comes in and is like, hey, we're going to go to the police. He's got this delivery drive. He's got this delivery we need to make, but it'll be okay because we can like go to the police like on the way. And so they go, but they don't fucking go to the police. They go to the middle of fucking nowhere.
Nope.
And she's like, oh my God, Caleb is here. And she goes, I know. And so then...
Because I'm being a dumb bitch.
Right. So then Caleb gives this like long fucking sad story about how he's like looked everywhere for her and like he's looked in her like all these places. And Anna's just like, mm-hmm. This is how this, yes. She's like, okay. And she's kind of like slightly placated at this point where she's like, I don't really believe them, but like, I think I need to go along with this right now. So she goes out into the backyard to get like, because Caleb takes a phone call. She goes out into the backyard. She can hear Caleb talking, but then she's like looking around and she sees the bracelet that she gave Margot and she knows it's the bracelet. So then she keeps walking and then there's a freshly dug grave, like something's been freshly buried.
Body length, yeah.
Having that moment, right? She's like, oh my God, like this is what happened. And Anna comes out and is like, what are you doing? And she's like, I found this bracelet. And that's Margot. And then Anna just tells what happened, which is basically that Caleb came and got her. And then when she got over there, like Margot had been stabbed several times in the chest and had like was dead. And so she just helped Caleb, which this is like, you can see the Stockholm syndrome of this woman. Like, she's like, my husband murdered his second wife and now I'm burying the body in this old person's backyard who's died several months ago, but whatever. But she goes, but look, Chloe, we can start over. And Chloe's like, the fuck we're gonna start over. This is it. I don't move into slot number 2. Like,
God.
There for a second, I was like, oh my God, what's gonna happen?
They're gonna go off into the sunset.
I literally had to click on the phone to see how much time we had left, because if we had like 40 minutes left, I was gonna be like, she going back with them. Because she making all those kind of choices.
Yeah. She has made horrible choices in this movie.
So many horrible choices. And then she's like, no. And then Caleb comes out and she's like, she knows. And then they're like, let's talk about this. And she's like, no. And like Chloe like runs away, but like, it's not that far. She like goes down like the hill to another like abandoned house. Mind you, I know that we often say like, don't victim shame, but like this is a movie. So I'm gonna a little bit because like as she's running, she's not calling 911. She doesn't get her phone out. She's not like 911, I found a dead body. Like none of that shit. She just like runs, gets into this house, is like finally hiding, locks the door, waits 20 to 40 seconds, and then calls 911 and is like, oh my God, someone's trying to murder me. And they're like, what? They're like, what's your address? And she's like, she doesn't answer. She just goes, someone's trying to murder me. He's outside. And they're like, we have found your location. I was like, they don't find you that fast. Don't give people false hope.
And then like... I thought that was why she was like holding it still behind her back and stuff. It is so obvious she's holding it behind her back too, because it's like both her arms are behind her back and she's just like standing weird. And you could tell she's holding the fucking phone.
I was like, I would have sat it down so that when he attacked me, like, you know what? Watch these type of movies because then you can critique them and be like, this is what I will do in these situations if I'm ever in them.
Yes.
Don't just put the phone down, like put it on like speaker.
Right.
And then like, so they're like, oh no, blah, blah, blah. He's like hitting her and like he has a stick or something, and then like no, he has a big like saw stabby knife thing, like he's gonna like stab her with it.
Oh yeah, he has a saw machete thing. Yeah,
which I was like, what the fuck is that?
A giant bread knife.
Just such a giant bread knife. And he was like coming at her, and then she makes a very, very calculated error in this moment where he's like blah blah, and she's like, you're not a man of God, you're a piece of shit. And he's like, oh, you want to fucking go, bitch? He like knocks her to the ground, literally knocks her to the ground, and like is on top of her, like choking her, like telling her how terrible of a human, like she's a bitch and all this stuff. And I'm like, oh, it's gonna be murders because she's gonna die. Yeah. And then Anna, out of fucking nowhere, just smacks Caleb in the head with a big pole, and Caleb falls down, knocked out. And I was like, that was hard, because that takes some strength to do that.
She kept to heart about him fucking hitting her. She's like, nope, your turn.
She was like, son of a bitch. And then she's like, you can tell like right away, like Stockholm syndrome sets in, and she's like, what did I do? And Chloe's like, no. The cops are coming. I will tell them that you, like, this wasn't on you. And granted, I think Anna feared for her life. Like, if I was in an abusive situation, I don't know that I would do that different of a thing. Like, where if someone was like, I mean, granted, if I had the opportunity to go to the police and be like, save me, I might do it. But like, I don't know, like if my abusive husband brought me to his second wife he has just murdered and is like, help help me, I'd probably be like, okay, I'm gonna do this because I'm afraid of what you'll do to me. Like, I get it. But she also a piece of shit because, like, she's very complicit in this. She's like, you know what it is? She's like, I got a baby. I'm fine.
Yeah.
She was like, I got this. And so then the police come, they take Caleb away, which, by the way, really long ass time. It was like definitely like mid-afternoon.
Yeah.
And then he doesn't go away until it's nighttime. And I'm like, where the fuck were they waiting for him to wake up? Was he in an I don't know what's happening.
Who knows?
It's just more dramatic at night.
Yes, it is for sure. Because the lights and everything.
And then apparently they just give Maisie to Chloe. Like, it's not that big of a deal. Like, there's no written paperwork. And she's like, this is my baby now.
I would like to think like off the screen, Margot thought to do that and they found it or something. But yeah, Chloe has the baby.
We don't actually know what happens to Anna, but we know that like Chloe has the baby.
Yeah.
She gets to her mom's house, like to Lydia's house, and she's still wearing the fucking ring.
I was surprised. I was like, oh, okay, bitch.
She like looks at the ring and takes it off and throws it down. And I was like, oh, good for you, honeybee. Good for you.
To be fair, she had other things to worry about besides her having her ring on, so.
True, but I would have been like, nah.
Yeah.
I would have just been like, I don't want this. And then her mom comes out and is like, oh my God, daughter. And they're like reunited and they're like, I'm so sorry. And I'm so sorry. And like the mom is kind of like, this is all my fault. And Tara and I both in unison went, yep.
It is.
It's your fault.
It's all your fault, lady.
All of this is because you didn't let her lay in bed and smoke pot earlier. Like, that's all that you would have had to do. And everything would have been fine.
Mm-hmm.
So then they like take the baby to meet Margot's mom. Yeah, so they take Maisie to the grandma, which is so weird because she like opens the gate and there's no like, hi person I've spoken to. She just looks at the baby and goes,
no, this is like shocked. They just showed up.
This is your granddaughter. And she's like, oh, this is Maisie. I'm like, oh, so we've had a phone call.
Right. The writers just were like, you don't need these details. It's fine. We're just gonna act like it all works.
We needed to wrap up.
Yeah.
That's literally what it was. It's like, this is the last 30 seconds of the movie. We don't really need to rethink this. There's so many plot holes, but that's a Lifetime movie for you. I want to write a Lifetime movie. That would be fun.
Oh my God. That would be so
because you don't have to make it make sense.
No, I love this. Yeah, but that was that movie. Yay.
Sister Wife Murder.
Sister Wife Murder.
If you were thinking about watching it, I give it 0 stars.
No,
actually, I give it like a 2 out of 5.
I give it like a 3. Just because it's like, if you appreciate those kind of cheesy movies like that, you will like it.
It's true.
But do I need to watch it ever again? No.
It's
like, if you're bored or you want to make a drinking game of some sort, go for it.
Well, every time Chloe makes a dumb decision,
drink.
You'll be drunk within the first 20 minutes.
Every time they say God, drink.
Oh my God, so drunk. Every time Anna gives you the eyes, drink.
Yes, drink.
Every time Caleb has a personality switch.
Oh my God. Every time a text is sent. You'll get a few out of those. Oh Lord. You're welcome for whoever decides to do that. So
every time Chloe sits and stares off like reflectively into the distance. There's a few of those.
Every time Margot's drug use comes up, drink.
Oh my God. There's going to be like one scene where it's just like boom, boom. Oh, so many.
Yeah.
Just chug at that point. It's just like literally poor Margot. Like,
Margot deserved justice.
She did. And also like Margot just wanted her mom to meet her baby.
I know. They killed the one character we would care about.
I know. I was like,
that's the whole point.
I was like, damn.
So watch it if you want.
Or don't.
Or don't. We just told you everything that happened, and that's more fun sometimes.
I mean, we probably left some stuff out, but like literally, it was 2 hours, and I was like, this is 2 hours. I'm not going to get back. It made it great that it was like during work, and also Tara was texting me. So I highly recommend that. If you're going to watch this movie, have a buddy that you can...
Have a movie buddy.
Have a movie buddy.
All right. Well, we're going to go now.
Okay.
Bye.